Hi everyone, these are tips to ace your math CASP. So here's some general tips that will help you with your exam. Make sure you always use actual scratch paper with pen and paper. There's a notepad function on the computer, but it doesn't work very well. Make sure that you do not need to click save after each question. They're automatically saved, so you just click next to go to the next question. And you can't move on to the next question until you answer the previous question. So make sure you always answer the previous question if you want to move on to the next question. The calculator icon I'll show you on a later slide. It's not very clear when it's available. Always look for it in the upper right-hand corner. It's Desmos, which I know a lot of you have used before. So here's an example of the first problem. Something I want to point out are the 3 lines. That will give you a tutorial which tells you how to use the calculator. The calculator down there is actually just to write your answers. It's not an actual calculator. Below the tutorial, you'll see the notepad, which once again is not very useful. You want to actually use scratch paper. To solve this problem mathematically, you would divide both sides by 12. What's interesting is you can write your answers a lot of different ways. 3 over 12 is considered correct. Also 0.25 is considered correct, as well as 1 over 4. So you don't need to reduce your fractions for your answers, which will save you some time. Something like number 2, if a variable is given, you have to use that letter. So for example, if I put 17 is less than x, I would get the answer wrong. So you have to use the correct letter. Something like this, if you see a word problem with 2 boxes, each sentence corresponds to each box. So for example, where it says enter an equation that can be solved to find the number of students S, whatever equation you use goes in the first box. In the second box goes the number of students that are on each bus. Once again, make sure in the first box that you use S because they used S for students. Within the test, there are certain segments. It will not give you a warning that it breaks it into different segments. You'll just see this announcement below that says you are leaving a current segment. Are you sure you want to do this? If you click yes, you cannot go back to those previous questions. If you click no, then you can go back to those previous questions. The calculator in the upper right-hand corner is right there. It's really small, but make sure you look for it. The calculator can be used in 2 different ways. The first way is that it's Desmos, which I know a lot of you have used in your math classes. If you have any questions on how to use Desmos, please reach out to your math teacher. But I think for a lot of you, you're comfortable that you could type in the equations and inequalities. It will graph it for you. If you see any graphing questions, make sure you type them into Desmos and then match the answer. For example, you can see in this picture that for the red part that's shaded, it's a solid line, and the blue part that's shaded is a dotted line, which matches answer choice B on the left-hand side. So it makes these problems a lot easier because you can graph them and match them. Also, what you may not know is that Desmos is actually a calculator. If you want to add, subtract, multiply, divide, you just type it into Desmos, push enter, and it will do it for you. For example, I typed in 221 minus 6, and I pushed enter, and it gave me 215. For true-false questions, make sure you only click a true or a false answer. It will let you click true and false, which can't be possible. So you click true or false. This message tells you that it's the end of the test. Now you get 2 warnings. Here's your first warning. If you click yes, you could still get 1 more chance to check your answers. If you get no, then you can have more than 1 chance to check your answers. Here's your final screen. Notice that not all the questions are available because it was broken into multiple segments, but everything in the last segment is available. Any question that you want to go back on, you just click on it and it will take you to that question. Once you're done with your test, you're going to push submit at the bottom and yes, and then log out. Good luck, guys.